Right then guys, it's PSL here, and I'm here for another rFactor video. Now, if you've been subscribed to my channel for around a year, you will know that I did a series around a year ago. It was Formula E cars around Formula 1 tracks. Now that series was very interesting to say the least. Some of the races were complete and utter chaos, some of the races were intriguing. Well, every race really was interesting for one reason or another. I mean, it kind of shows really, it kind of demonstrates how complicated of a game rFactor is, because when I started that series, I had only been playing on rFactor for about a week or 2 weeks. So, which explains, you know, kind of some of the craziness which happened in that series, especially at Monaco. If you've seen the Monaco episode, that chaos could so easily have been averted if I knew what to do at the time. But anyway, lots of people, ever since I did that series, have been commenting saying, why don't you do a series Formula 1 cars around Formula E tracks? Well, there's a reason for it, as we can see on the tracks. As you can see, there aren't that many Formula E tracks that have been made, really. I mean, there's certainly none being made now, because I think finally, after all these years, I think the modding support for rFactor's going. I think it's moving more towards rFactor 2, Assetto Corsa, those sort of games. But, which explains kind of the amount of half-made Formula E tracks. I mean, we got the Berlin E-Prix track here, which it says its location is in Australia and the length is only 0.1 kilometers. And trust me, that's the least of its issues. We'll get into that later on, really. There's only one Formula E track which is well made. Of the 3 that I've downloaded, there's 3, maybe 4 good Formula E tracks, and the rest have got glaring issues, really. But we're going to be doing 3 Formula E tracks here, starting with the Berlin E-Prix, because assuming I've got this video out on time, it is the weekend of the Berlin E-Prix in the 3rd Formula E season. So, you know, now's as good a time as any, really, to be taking Formula 1 cars around sort of that same track. I believe the layout has changed since the 1st season, but certainly it's the same venue, even if the track layout is slightly different. And as far as the car is concerned, for this first race at least, I'm going to be driving the Williams. I mean, why not really? It's the Canadian Grand Prix as well, assuming, you know, I've got this video out in time. So, you know, I may as well partner Lance Stroll. And also that means me partnering Lance Stroll, that will be 2 18-year-olds in the same Formula 1 team. I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster, isn't it? So as you can see, qualifying hasn't gone all that brilliantly at the moment. I'm 31 seconds off the pace. But since then, I've made some adjustments to the setup. Lowered the starting fuel level, lowered the gear ratios, they're as low as they could go. Certainly, yes they are. The radiator, I've put in the biggest radiator, hopefully that will prevent overheating, and obviously aerodynamics, that goes without saying, that's been put up as high as it can go. Right, so I'm coming up to the end of my first proper lap in qualifying, and look, I'm just being held up by a Toro Rosso, and the game's lagged, and that's cost me quite a lot of time, but so where am I? 6th? I'm actually right on the money. Yeah, I'm right up behind Hamilton, just ahead of Kevin Magnussen. I've beaten Bottas, and yeah, that proves how unfinished this particular track is. I mean, we've got that Mercedes driver phasing through the wall, and right, the game keeps lagging. Right, let me guess, the second I click finish session, it's going to do a typical rFactor simulating the qualifying session. No, that's not too bad actually. I thought it would be way worse than that. I thought suddenly everyone would beat me by several seconds. No, actually, simulating the qualifying session didn't do too badly, so I'm in 13th. In between both Renaults. Right, okay, so here we are. So we've got Hülkenberg and Ricciardo just ahead of us. Starting in 13th place, the most dangerous place to start. And away we go. And there's a Sauber that's qualified quite well, but of course, I mean, the qualifying results were never going to be brilliant. I'm being rear-ended because I'm trying to be cautious into this first corner, and yeah, well, you know what, that went about as well as I realistically could have expected it to have gone. In fact, actually, I've gained a place. In fact, this is going remarkably well. I'm about to pass Valtteri Bottas, and there you go, I'm up into 11th place, so close actually to scoring a point at the moment. Hang on, Daniel Ricciardo's not going too quickly. Ericsson seems to be holding up quite a few people, and do you know what? This race has gone remarkably well. Well, right up until that moment where Ricciardo... What's happened? Engine's overheated, I think. Okay. Right then, there's definitely an issue with engine overheating. It didn't crop up in qualifying, but it's cropping up now in the race, and no one else seems to be affected, but yet I can't even do more than half a lap. So I'm going to go and fix this, and then, yeah, I'll come back to this race again. A 1 minute 12.2. That's a remarkable lap, I think. That's a good lap. Oh, quickest at the moment. Should still be, what, top half when I click finish session? Third? Oh, and Jolyon Palmer, yes. What about Stroll? Is he doing the 18-year-olds proud? Not really, all the way down in 16th. But look at that, Jolyon Palmer. Jolyon Palmer doing Britain proud, starting from pole position. Right, here we go. Verstappen and Palmer, and then myself, Raikkonen and Bottas are behind. Well, I say Raikkonen's behind, he's actually now just ahead. And, oh my word, right, we gotta go cautious. Since I'm starting so high up, there's no point being aggressive. And somehow I'm still in third. I don't know where Raikkonen's disappeared off to, but he's long gone. In fact, past Verstappen. Jeez, I never thought I would say this, but I might have to up the difficulty. Formula 1 cars around Formula E tracks, what have I done, about 10 laps, and already apparently I'm used to it? Although, to be fair, I have no idea what the difficulty is set to. I assume it would be the default 95%, I assume. And I think we're about to see... Actually, no, to be fair, the AI are doing somewhat well around these few corners. Well, to be fair, they're doing better than me. Yellow flags are out. Don't know what for. That was probably for me, actually. And Palmer's off into the distance, actually. And do you know what? Sod it. My mission for the remainder of the race is to make either me or Palmer win. Well, I tell you what, I'm certainly not going to be winning on this attempt. Right, well, that was the easiest overtake I've ever done, and actually, no, hang on. The move hasn't been done. Me and Palmer were in an epic battle here. Come on, Palmer. Prove to the people why I reluctantly support you. And, do you know what, Palmer's doing... Oh, Palmer! Actually, I may as well... Oh, Verstappen spun! My word, just as I started commentating. In fact, I've lost my front wing, haven't I? Right, well, this race... There's carbon fibre flying all over the place back there. No, this isn't working, this no front wing situation. Bottas has got by. And then, in fact, what I was going to say before Verstappen spun was... I do want to clear that the only reason I support Palmer is because he's British. I'm not going to deny he's not been that great this season. Or kind of really even... Well, last season he was better, to be fair. No, this... I'm sorry, this... I thought it wouldn't be too bad driving that front wing. To be fair, it's not as bad as it would be if I was driving around, you know, let's say Spa, but, I mean, Raikkonen's gone, Bottas I can barely see anymore, and, you know, I've just given up, actually, sod it. I'm just gonna do the good thing, pull over, retire. I may as well watch the race from the grandstand. Do essentially what Jarno Trulli should have done. Because I believe, actually, I think it was actually at this very track, the Berlin E-Prix, where Jarno Trulli qualified on pole position, and then, well, the race started, and in typical Trulli fashion, his qualifying pace disappeared when it came to the race. Right, I was going to try and watch this race to the end, but I've just noticed that Kimi Raikkonen's running out of fuel. I don't know if he's going to come into the pits. Well, certainly not this lap. Right, I didn't anticipate this. I was just hoping to, you know, watch the remainder of the race and see if Palmer held on. But I'm not going to lie, this race has been pretty boring. It's not helped by the fact that, as I said earlier, there's no external cameras. Because I mean, you can hear... Mashing the key for the external cameras, nothing. We just get to look at the snazzy onboard ones. I mean, we get that. I mean, that's the closest you get to an external camera. But, I mean, that is really just, you know, the third-person camera. I was just fast-forwarding through the race and I realised that Palmer wasn't anywhere to be seen anymore. So, Bottas was behind in second. Palmer, please don't tell me you bottled yet again another good opportunity. You do it in real life, you do it in here now as well. What did he do? That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life! Right, so we're seeing this from Jolyon Palmer's perspective, And what, did he just get lost? He literally does a James May and get lost. Oh, he's going into the pits. Oh, alright, he's going into the pits, okay. Oh, well, how's this going to work then? Okay, and someone's retired actually. Force India's retired. Right, we need to check that out. Right, I'm not quite sure what happens with Perez. You can see me still pulled off on the side of the track. So Perez spins, and then, typical fashion, faces through the wall, and then... Well, I mean, I kind of looked through the footage, he seems to spend a lot of time upside down. Very strange. You see, again, you know, demonstrating yet another reason why I wouldn't be doing a series on Formula E tracks, because, I mean, this is... I mean, he's just having sex with a wall as Perez. Oh, hang on! Bottas has ran out of fuel. Well, I mean, as you can see, everyone else was just in the pits. Actually, do you know what? Let's just abandon this race, because everyone's running out of fuel, aren't they? Do you know what? Yeah, let's abandon this race. I'm going to say that Palmer's the winner, because, you know, he was winning before this pit stop mess came into place. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know what's going on now, because it just said Verlaine was in second a few seconds ago, and now he's in 13th. So, do you know what? Let's just abandon this race. Yep, here we are, London, Battersea Park, and already much nicer than Berlin. I mean, that was, I think that's the Tempelhof Airport, the Berlin E-Prix at, and I mean, look at this, trees. It's just nice to have, you know, scenery, you know, rather than just endless grey. And I've just been overtaken. Right, having done half a lap of this track, yep, if you've just seen that corner and this corner, there are some incredibly tight corners and chicanes around this track. This is going to be a lot more fun than Berlin. Actually, I wonder if someone can leave a comment explaining what is the situation with the London E-Prix. I've just realised that I've exceeded the lap allowance in qualifying. I couldn't really care less. I've messed that corner up again. Right, I'm giving up with qualifying because I can't even do a half decent lap. But yes, what I was going to say is I wonder if someone can leave a comment explaining what the situation is with the London E-Prix. Because I know that was quite a big race in the first 2 seasons, now it's not on the calendar for the 3rd season. And, I mean, it's probably old news, but I certainly did miss the news over what's happening with the London E-Prix. Because, I mean, the venue was brilliant, but yet, I don't know whether it was something Boris Johnson did or Sadiq Khan did, but, yeah, that race certainly needs to come back. Right then, so we're on the grid, and I've just noticed I've got 115 laps worth of fuel, so I must have forgotten to have changed the starting fuel, so I'm going to try and burn some off on the grid. That hasn't really worked. Anyway, away we go. That must have mean that I forgot to change all the setup, including the gear ratios and everything, but oh well, I mean, Formula 1 cars around this track, it's more about skill than it is about car setup, to be honest, and once again, the car's phasing through the wall. So yeah, that's going to be fun, but hopefully, well, I'm kind of half expecting the drivers to all get caught up amongst some of these chicanes, because I mean, some of them are really tight. Oh no, they're going slowly into here, and oh, that bloody corner, it's the same corner again, and I've crashed off for a completely different reason. I just thought, you know, maybe if they can phase through the wall I can, but apparently not. Oh, hang on. Oh, some incident happened there. Right, so, okay. That was very strange. Hang on. Oh, I've made an overtake on Lance Stroll. Yes, it was illegal. I hopped over the sausage curbs, but hey, hopping over the sausage curbs, that's, you know, they don't exactly enhance your speed. So there you go. Well, I'm up into 17th place. My word. And, oh, well, I'm not anymore, am I? Alright, so we just saw some... Whoa! Palmer, be careful where you're going. If you've got the power to be able to drive through walls, you've got to use that responsibly. And I've been able to pass Van Dorn. That's the first, I'd say, legal overtake I've made that hasn't, you know, involved people spinning out. And, I mean, that's just... Right, okay, well, it was fun while it lasted. What chaos just happened there? Right, well, Van Dorn's going nuts. Mercedes has gone. I went flying up into the air because I just got greedy with the curbs. And apparently, despite the fact my car's not really turning to the left, jeez, it's like the opposite of an Indy car. It doesn't really want to go straight or turn left. Right, I think that's time for me to just give up on this. I really do. I mean, I was honestly trying, really trying, but I'm calling it quits on this because I genuinely don't think I've been this wound up whilst recording a video. I'm honestly, I mean, I loved Battersea Park at the start of this recording, but then, well, I hate it now. I really am getting so sick of it. Oh, Hamilton, please don't ruin your chances of a race win. I think he's lost it. Lewis Hamilton, I was kind of supporting you throughout all of this, but, alright, well, okay, well, I'll tell you what, this track, I mean, certainly compared to Berlin, there's no overtaking opportunities around this track. So then, the third and final track in this video. Now, we saw the Berlin E-Prix, we saw the London E-Prix circuits, and both of those were just, well, unfinished messes, really. But, here we go. This is a proper, finished, completed mod. I think one of only 3 Formula E tracks which has got a completed mod. Buenos Aires, Beijing, and there's another one, Punta del Este, I think, possibly. Either way, there's 3 completed Formula E circuits. I've gone for the Buenos Aires one because, look, I mean, it's got a loading screen. That's how you know that this was a completed mod. But look, long straights, not too many tight corners. This could be the only Formula E track that might actually suit Formula 1 cars. Right, here we go in Buenos Aires. Van Dorn signs just ahead, and away we go. She got off to quite a decent start. I don't think there's really any overtaking opportunities into the first corner. Or maybe, it's not really the room though, is there? Of course, with these 2017 F1 cars, you know, much wider than Formula E cars, there's just no real space, to be honest. But I mean, actually, hang on, we could get past Van Dorn here. Oh, there you go, Van Dorn hung out to dry, and there you go. This is the overtaking opportunity on the circuit, and also Haas spun. Oh, and the safety car's out. Oh, that, to be fair, that is something I should have expected. I'm amazed it's taken us this long, but yeah, finally we're actually going to see the safety car in this video. Well, here's another one of the perks to this track and the mod actually being completed. We got some external trackside cameras, and what did happen with that Haas? He just spun on the curb. So easy to do, because you don't really get the effect of the downforce, because all the corners are such low speed, and you know, with the torque of these Formula 1 cars, it's so easy to spin them out. I mean, you know, that Haas driver made that mistake, but that's a mistake, you know, so easily any one of us could make. Yeah, they definitely jump it. I assume they just see that part of the track as tarmac and go, yeah, that's fine to drive across, completely ignoring the sausage curb that's there. Right, well, this race might be quite easy then if they're going to keep doing that. Right, I think I've noticed another issue, because we've done an entire lap of the track. We haven't seen the safety car. Well, I'm not quite sure where the safety car is, but I mean, it's not out on circuit. What I was trying to say is that it's like the hare and tortoise situation. They're all slightly quicker than me, but they're also quite a bit more stupid. They'll probably lose their front wings somehow, or spin off, or do something. So all I was going to say, all I need to do is hang back and race cleanly, and then I take out my teammate. Oh, someone spun. Okay, that's a Red Bull who's gone. Right, well, that's another place gained, so I'm, as it stands, 17th. All I need to do is just don't spin out. I think I've already got some damage on the car, but I just need to drive tidy and clean and don't get involved in any accidents. Yeah, we've got a bit of damage to the right front suspension. Right, well, hopefully the right front wheel doesn't fall off, but where am I? 17th? 17th, I haven't really done anything. I've just been cruising around at the back and just overtaking. Oh, I'm 12th actually, as it turns out. 12th, and I've made about 2 genuine overtakes, and the rest have just been through spins or, well, other people being stupid. Jeez, well, that was an aggressive pass on my teammate, but there we go. That means I'm up into points positions. Yes, Sauber. We're nearly actually in the double points place, assuming Ericsson doesn't have damage. Oh, someone else has spun by the looks of it. What is going on with the Haas drivers? They can't drive around this track. I don't know why. I don't know, but either way, what does that mean? I'm up into 9th place, and I was going to say it's a double point position for Sauber, but it's not, because Ericsson's been passed by Bottas. Oh, Bottas! Oh, I think I've sent Bottas. Right, let's have a look. Is Bottas on his roof? Well, of course, there isn't really a roof in F1 cars, but I think he's driven away just fine. Alright, okay. Okay, well, we'll just class that as a racing incident and then carry on then. I mean, I'm still in 11th, and I think Vettel came into the pits and has still come out ahead of me, so things aren't great. Right, aim is... I've just got to get a points place at least. Oh, who was that? Was that Van Dorn? Van Dorn who just rear-ended me. I can't even get into reverse. There we go. Oh, now I'm holding up my teammate. Right, what's the damage like on this car? Surprisingly little, considering I've been, what, rear-ended twice, and had a minor incident with Hulkenberg twice. Hang on. Yeah, Vettel's behind me. Last time I saw, he was... Well, he just came out of the... My word, I was about to say, last time I saw Vettel, he was miles ahead of me, so he must have come into the pits. Possibly again. I'm not quite sure, but... Either way... Oh, hang on. Oh, was Ocon coming into the pits because he's finished the race? Yeah, he's finished the race. What? Hang on, so does that mean that the race has ended then? Because apparently the start-finish line is back there, when technically it's here. There you go, so that means I finished in 13th place. I'll take that as a roaring success, and, you know, considering I started in 20th, I mean, you know, when I did qualifying, I actually qualified, what, 18th? But, you know, despite the damage that Van Dorn did to me, and Bottas, I mean, what, considering I was, what, about 3 seconds a lap slower than most of those guys in qualifying, you know what, I'll take that. And I was in a Sauber as well, so, you know what, I'll class it as a good day. Formula 1 cars around Formula E tracks, of course it's going to be difficult, of course there's going to be, I was going to say teething problems, but that would be an understatement. But hey, you know what, on the whole I think this has gone quite well. The first race, Berlin, went remarkably well until I rear-ended some people. I mean, there the AI were just too slow, but, you know, I mean, I kind of helped Palmer to win that race, so as far as I'm concerned, that's a resounding success. Battersea Park, the less said, the better, really. I mean, I like the track, but, well, I liked watching drivers drive around that track, but geez, driving around it was a big no. And then this race was pretty successful as far as I'm concerned, pretty eventful, and I'd say easily the best race in this trio in this video. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and actually you guys, you can now stop commenting about doing Formula 1 cars on Formula E tracks, because I've finally done it, and before anybody asks, there won't be a series on this. I'm not going to do a championship of Formula 1 cars around Formula E tracks, because, well, I mean, you've seen this video, you've seen the issues. Berlin was too easy, Battersea Park was just broken, and then this race was just... This race actually rewarded you for being slow and cautious, which I don't really think is kind of the real ethos of racing, but anyway, as I said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And yes, there will be another rFactor video coming up very soon, and we'll probably have even more chaos than this one. So I'll see you then.